Hello everybody, welcome to the JavaScript course. In this video, I'm going to discuss the browser events. So what is an event in JavaScript? An event will happen in a program and it can be detected by a program. For example, when we have mouse events, keyboard events, or form events, JavaScript can react to these events. So we have two ways to handle the event handlers. The first one is to use HTML attributes, and the other one is to use DOM properties. In addition to using event handlers, we can add event listeners to handle two or more events on one element. Now, let us see the HTML file first. The HTML file has a lot of elements this time. So in the head part, I have a title, and this HTML file is linked to a CSS file with the name called styles.css shown here. Okay, and in the body part, I have a number of things. First, I have a heading here, and then I want to show you some further details by separating my web page using some smaller headings. So for the first part, I want to show you the way to create event handlers. So in the first part, I have an input button, which is this one, and I have a label corresponding to the checkbox, and of course I have a checkbox here, okay. And then I'm going to do another part by indicating the way to add event handlers using DOM property. So I have two input boxes shown here, okay. And the third part is about event listeners. Then I have a division shown here, and the division has a border in different color. And for the final part, I want to show you the way to remove event listeners. That's why I have two buttons for me to demonstrate the removal. And of course, I have to link my JavaScript file to the HTML file. The JavaScript file is called myscript.js, which is already put in the JS folder, okay? And the label is like this, which is just for the long thing here, okay? And then in the CSS part, I have box 1 here. Box 1 corresponds to this division, okay? This is a colored division. And for this division, I have a background color and I have a border. And the width and height are shown here, okay? And for my JavaScript file, I want to use the strict mode. That's why I have to say use strict on the first line of the JavaScript file. And you can see the hierarchy of the files on the left-hand side of the screen. So the HTML file and the CSS file are put at the same level. And at the same level, I have also got a JS folder, and the JS folder contains the JavaScript file, okay? Now, let's go to the topic for today. An event would happen in a program, and it can be detected by the program. So there are some possible actions that can follow the event. So for example, I have some possible event names right here. The mouse events, keyboard events, and the form events, and so on. So the mouse event can include the clicking or the context menu, which is just referring to the menu after clicking on the right button, okay? And for the keyboard event, it can refer to the key up and key down. That means when I press a key, the key is down, and when the key is released, the key comes up, okay? And for the form events, I can focus on a certain element on the form, or I can just remove the focus of that element to have a state called blurring, okay? In order to handle the events, we have to use the event handlers. So the event handler indicates the further actions that we can do when an event is really received. So the name of an event handler is always in this format, on followed by the event name, okay? So we will see some examples about the event handler names. In order for me to assign event handlers, we have two approaches. The first one is to use the HTML attributes. So the format is like this. The event handler name followed by the script, okay? So I have an example on the HTML file. So when we do event handlers using the HTML attributes, we really do the assignment on the HTML file rather than depending on the JavaScript file. So let's see what happens on the HTML file. Suppose I want to show some effect after I have clicked on this button. For now, there is no response because I haven't done anything in response to my clicking action on that button. So if I want to show some effect after the clicking, I can add an HTML attribute indicating the thing to do after the clicking action. Okay, so I add an event handler here called onClick, and after the event handler, I want to assign some code to make this event handler work. So I want to show the ID of the button that I clicked. So I use this here to indicate the element to which the event is registered. And for now, this refers to the input button because I do the event handling on the input button shown here. Okay, so let me see the result, save. And then I reload the page. And when I click on this button, you can see something to happen. So you can see that I have button 1 clicked. So button 1 here is just meaning the ID of my current button. Okay, so you can see that the ID is here. And I would say that button 1 clicked. So this is a simple way to do the registering of an event handler to my code. Okay. You can see that it is quite clumsy to just put all the instruction on the HTML file. So rather than doing all the code inside the HTML file, I can just do my code on the JavaScript file, and after I have linked the JavaScript file to the HTML file, the function in the JavaScript file can be called in the HTML file to do the assignment of my event handler. Let us see another example. Suppose I have a label here, and the label corresponds to this checkbox. Okay, so when I click on this checkbox right now, there is no response because I haven't said anything when I want to show the clicking action. Okay, so how can I do so? I can have another idea like this one. So I want to highlight the label when I click on the checkbox. So how can I do so? I put the function name on the index.html file first, and after that I'm going to do the function called highlight on the JavaScript file. So the idea is like this: onClick equals some function, and we have to put parentheses at the end. So after I've already put the event handler function on the HTML file, I can do something like this on the JavaScript file. So suppose I've already picked up the particular checkbox shown here, indicated by ID called checkbox 1, which is just this checkbox. Okay. So what can I do for now? Let me show you my way. Okay, you can see that I have a function here. So the function is called highlight, which is just this function being called on the HTML file, and the function here is just picking up the label with ID called label1, which is just this label on the web page. And when I do the clicking, I'm able to change the background color of the label to yellow. So that is the basic idea of my code right now. So let me try to save all the things and let me try to see the effect. Save all, and then I reload the page. So when I click on the checkbox, you can see that the label becomes yellow in background color. So that is the effect of the onClick event handler. So when I click on the checkbox, I want to call the highlight function, and the highlight function is able to help me change the background color of the certain label called my label to be yellow. So we have two ways to do the HTML attribute assignment. The first one is to put all the code on the HTML file. The other one is to make a function, and the function is placed on the JavaScript file. Okay. The other way to do the event handler assignment is called using DOM property. So we can do all the things on the JavaScript file this time. So Let us see an example to do so. Suppose I have a certain text box called text1. So where is it? It is this one. Okay. So I'm referring to the first text box here. So after I've picked up this element, I can do something like this. Okay, I want to show that the background color of the text box is pink when I really focus on that particular text box. So the way to do the focusing is just clicking on that text box. So when I click on that text box, I can make a focus on it. So let us see the result. Save. Reload. So when I click on it, you can see that the background color has changed to pink. So this is the way to take a focus. In addition to using a mouse, I can also use the tab button to really focus on that particular text box. So let me try again. Reload the thing first, and then I use the tab button. So when I focus on the text box using the tab button, you can see that the pink color shows up on the text box again. So we have two ways to do the focusing, by using a cursor or by using the tab key, okay? So the first example shows that I passed the whole function content to the DOM element called textbox, okay? So rather than passing the whole function content on a certain element, I can pass a function call to a certain element. So let us see another example. I have a certain text box called text2 here, and the value is called enter keys, which is shown up here already. And what can I do for this text box? I can have an idea like this. Okay, I want to remove the values inside the text box. So how can I do so? I can set up a function called removeValues here, and take a look here. The removeValues doesn't follow any parentheses right now. And after that, I just define my function. Okay, so the function is like this. I pick up the element called text2, which is the ID name of that text box, and then I set the value of it to become an empty string. Okay, so I'm able to just remove the content of the text box when I click on it. So let us see the result. Save. Reload. So when I click on it, you can see that the content is removed. The value becomes an empty string. So that is the way of using a function call instead of passing the whole function content to the event handler, okay? So we can notice something right here. When we assign the function to an event handler using the DOM property, we don't add parentheses after the function name. So I'm referring to this part. I just put the name only without putting the parentheses at the end. The reason is like this. If we do so, we will just pass the function result to the event handler instead. So we can't do this one. Otherwise, we have to pass the function result into the event handler. So what will happen if we just pass the result? For this function, I have no return value, okay? So it means that I can just return nothing to the unfocused event handler. That means I can do nothing. Okay, so remember, we just put the function name here rather than the function together with the parentheses, which represents the function result. Okay, if I just want to focus on the content, I just do it in this way without the parentheses. Okay. For using event handlers, there is one possible active event handler that can be done for each event. So if we have 2 or more event handlers to handle, the more recent one would overwrite the original one. So in order for me to handle 2 or more event handlers on an event, we can use an event listener instead. So the way to use event listeners is shown below. I want to assign 2 event handlers on the same mouse over event. So let me go to the box 1 here. Box 1 means this particular element, which is just this division. And I want to change the box color when I put the mouse over the division. So how can I do so? Let me show you my way. The idea is to use the convention like this one. I want to use the event listener. I want to add the event listener, so I put the event in the first parameter. So I want to handle the mouse over event, and the handle function is called addText, which will be shown very quickly later. And let me continue the code. Okay, you can see that I've typed a lot of things. So we have this thing to talk about. The execution of the event handler would follow the order of the assignment. So basically, I have two event handlers to put on the my box element. So the first one is called change box color, which is already shown here. I want to change the box color to yellow. And then after I've already set up an event handler on my box element, I can add another one called addText. So in order for me to add another event handler on the element, I can use the addEventListener function. Okay, so I put the event name to handle, which is called mouse over, the same as this one, of course. And then I put a function name here called my text. So I'm able to just do these things indicated by the addText function. I want to add some text content, and I want to change the font size. Okay. So let us see the result by having two event handlers on the same element. Okay. Save. Reload. So when I put my cursor on top of the element, you can see that the background color has changed to yellow. Okay. I found my problem here because I spelled the event name wrongly. MOUSEOVER for mouse over. So let me try again. Save. Reload. So when I put my cursor on top, you can see that the color has changed to yellow. Together with the color change, I also added some new text with some particular font size by using the addText function. Okay. So you can see that the element called my box is able to handle two events at the same time, both of which correspond to the same event called mouse over. So when I have a mouse being put over the text box, I can have two actions to come out. Okay, so we can add two actions at the same time by using the event listeners. So the idea is to use addEventListener. Okay, if we have added an event listener, we can actually remove the event listener if we want to do so. So let us see an example. Suppose I want to do something about the buttons shown here. Okay, so button 2 is just this button with a number here, and button 3 is just another number to help me do the removal of the event listener. So how can I control these two buttons? Let me show you my way to demonstrate the effect of removing an event listener. So now I want to control button 2 first. So the button 2 element would just wait for an event called click. So when I click on that particular button, I want to update the number, which is just the content of the input button. So currently the value is 0. So if I click on it, the number can be changed. So the idea is to use this update number function. So I pick up the value of the button. So I use this keyword here to indicate the particular button called my number 2, from which the function is called. Okay, and I just add 1 to that particular number or value picked up by the clicked variable. Okay, and then I just assign this incremented value back to the value of the button 2 element. Okay, so after I've done this update number function, if I want to remove this event listener, how can I do so? Let me show you my way. The idea is like this. So when I click on this button called remove listener, I'm able to call this function content. The idea is to use the remove event listener function so that I consider the original clicking action. And when I do so, I want to remove the event listener content indicated by the update number function. So we have to see that we have to use the same function name here for both the adding and the removal. Otherwise, you cannot get back the same function to do the removal. Okay. So we have two function names called updateNumber for both the adding and the removal. Okay. So let us try this example. Save. Reload. So when I click on this button, I'm always able to increase the number by 1 because I'm just doing the updateNumber function indicated by the button 2. Okay. So when I remove the event listener after clicking on this button, I can no longer update my value on the first button because I've already removed the updateNumber function from the button 2. Okay. So you can see that button 3 is able to control the event listeners on button 2. Okay. So even though I click on button 2, I'm not able to increase my number any longer because that feature is already removed by the removed event listener function. Okay. So this video has already talked about so many ways to register browser events on event handlers. So the first idea is to use the event handlers on the HTML attributes like this one. I do the assignment on the HTML attribute directly by passing a certain function content or by passing a certain function shown on the JavaScript file. Okay. The other one is to use the DOM property. So I do everything on the JavaScript file by choosing a certain element, and after the choosing, I do the event handler on the JavaScript file by passing a function content or by passing the function call. Okay. So when we do the function call, we have to notice that we don't put parentheses at the end. Otherwise, we just pass the return value of the function to the event handler, which is not our aim. Okay. So in order for me to handle more than one event handler on a certain event, we can add event listeners instead. So in my case, I have to pass an event listener by using the add event listener. So originally I had one mouse over event, and at the same time I can handle another mouse over event by passing the event name together with the handler function name. Okay. In addition to adding event listeners, I can also remove an event listener. So the idea is to use the remove event listener function to remove the same function from the original element. Remember, we have to pass the same function back, otherwise we are not able to remove the event listener. This is the end of the video. If you have any questions about my video, please leave your questions on the comment section below the video. If you like this video, please give me a like and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.